what I'm going to start off doing is taking a simple water pigment tray, adding a green and an orange pigment, and using our micro mini mixer to mix it. Now, color theory tells me that if I put orange and green together, we should end up with a brown. Not necessarily an attractive brown, but still a brown. So now I can take my mini mixer, you can kind of hear it. I'm going to put this in my color tray, but it's really important to remember, always keep your mini mixer vertical. If you tilt it, then the spray is going to be going out to the sides and you're going to have a mess to clean up. So when you go to use it, put it all the way down so it's flat down, push the button. So we're just going to take it real quick and mix it up. Now take your thumb off the mixer so you're not spraying it all over. So now we have a combination. We have a little bit of like, a red type brown in here, not the orange or the green. So color theory works. This is just a little bit of an orange-based brown. Now, these mini mixers are great for mixing color. Also eyebrow and eyelash tint, because you get the right amount of oxygen in with the hydrogen, and that's where your tints were always meant to be well mixed. Now if I try to take my mini mixer and put it into a bottle, it's only going to go down that far. Where are all my dried ingredients? At the bottom. So instead, if I take, and just to show you how kind of empty this is, I'm going to move our light so you can kind of see through it a little. See how it's pale up through here? That's your wetting ingredient, your thinner. And then this looks to me like a titanium and iron oxide mix because it's separated. And titanium being a larger micron size, it needs to be mixed really well prior to use. So you can see that these are not mixed well. When I turn this on its side, you'll see this is so thick, it just doesn't run at all. So now I can take this, let me move our other tray, put it down, and holding it, and you'll be able to see this all get mixed. So now I'm going to take this, and remember this has the ability to go quite wide or smaller. I'm going to put it all the way inside my bottle and start the process, just moving it around. This has been a long time since this has been mixed, so it's going to take me a little while. And remember when they used to put beads in the bottom of all the fingernail polish? That was so you could shake it, and those little beads were great to keep your pigment the right consistency. But see, we're dealing with colors that really mix, not colors that just get thick. So now, just after a few minutes, I'm going to run this up along the side just to get it cleaned off a little bit. So now we have nice, consistent pigment. Along the edges of the bottle, it may look a little bit light, but that's because you need to run this around the insides of those bottles. Okay. And when we take them out, we just take them out with a cloth so we're not dripping. And you can see now it is really mixed in there. Probably needs a little more thinner, but it is well mixed. I'm going to take this because it still has a stain on it. I'm going to take this and run it into this so you can see how the different shapes of this as it expands to meet the surface that's necessary. So I'm just going to put it in there. Can't go all the way to the bottom, but you'll see as I pull it up, you can see it's hitting the sides. And then when I take it deeper, it spreads out even more. So this is great for all different shapes. This also works well on your little bottles. And pardon me for my messy cloth here, but this is just for demonstration purposes. So you could take something that is a real narrow container like this, and you can see even when I tilt this, see how the main ingredient stays at the bottom? Okay, I am going to clean this off a little better. And even though it's stained, and I don't really use this color a lot, so I'm willing to sacrifice it. See how this is spread apart? To get into a small container like this, and you can see this even has pigment trapped at the top. Sometimes what you're going to want to do is put your thinner, a couple drops in first, or you can get it well mixed first. I'm going to take this and just have it narrow for a second while it gets past that area. I'm going to try and hold this so you can see it's starting to mix. And the noise you hear are the sides of that spinner hitting the sides of the container because it's filling it all up. So now we're seeing it's well mixed. And again, you should be doing this with your pigments. Maybe once a month would be too often for some of them because they're not colors you use a lot, but definitely for the colors that you use on a regular basis, consistency of pigment makes a huge difference in how much deposit you actually get into the skin while you're working on it. So now this is really well mixed, thicker than what I like, but I can at this time then add some more thinner to it. Now here's a tiny little bottle, and even with this size, and again, excuse my messy stir, but this is just so you can see what actually works. Now, hopefully we won't have a mess, but I'm just going to... Okay, now we have a well mixed ingredient here, and I'll show you what the bottle looked like prior, just to help you remember. These have been setting on their side, so you can see all that ingredient that would have been on its side now is mixed up thoroughly in this. So, just as a recap, my messy little stir does not do well in the shallow trays like this. The mini mixers are ideal for that, and we usually have a barrier film over both of these, but I wanted to show you what happens if you don't use your barrier film. So hopefully that helps you, and we carry both of these mixers on our site, which is dermagraphicsinc.com. Look forward to seeing you.